Having kept the passion alive in my marriage for the last 10 years, I'm here to share with you 3 of the most important things you can do to keep your relationship together. By the way, I'm Michael Ravenwood, and I throw lightning bolts to empower people. So if what I share in this video speaks to you and you want to transform your experience completely in 90 days, use the link in the bio or message me. And now, how to keep your relationship together. Of course, this is an incredibly complex subject, and it's going to have a different spin for everyone who's listening to this, but there are certain things that are universally true about human beings. One is the difference in operating styles. Some people are more extroverted and others less so. It's super important that if you're both going to get what you need, you're going to have to allow for the differences in those operating styles, and you're going to have to allow, for example, one person to go home a little early from events so the other person can have their fill of what recharges them. So the first thing to know is that you'll have different operating styles in some ways, and you're going to need to account for that in your relationship. The second thing I'll share is that the relationship itself takes on a life of its own. Just like a business or your own self, it needs maintenance time. Making sure you have a date night at least every week and you create love together in whatever way speaks to you. That's going to be really important to keeping a solid foundation to your relationship. The third thing is to recognize that no matter how good your relationship is, you're almost certainly going to have times where it starts to break down. For these times, it's incredibly important to know how to communicate with one another when the feelings get hot. Having a safe word, for example, that you can use when you notice, oh, you know what, a pattern is arising, we're getting in conflict, it's not going in a good direction, let's abruptly change direction. Past this, because our culture doesn't necessarily have the strongest education in terms of communication, we can also get outside help. Some people use a relationship coach or a therapist, but you can also just, do some home study, but commit some time to the relationship itself and the communication between you. I highly recommend the system called nonviolent communication by Marshall Rosenberg. He was able to successfully get gang members who used to be shooting each other and gang members and police who used to be shooting each other to get together in a room and to find compromise and harmony. He was also able to get Palestinians and Israelis who used to be bombing each other to get in a room and find compromise. His system is decades old and has proven itself to be incredibly effective. So I encourage you to look into it. So by making sure that you have accounted for the fact that you have different operating styles in certain ways and that you're going to have your alone time or your personal focus whenever you need it. And then also by making sure you have time together in which you're just playing, just focusing on the relationship itself. And finally, making sure that you have support in your communication if you have breakdowns or you have some sort of tools and technologies. All of that is really important to maintaining a beautiful relationship over a decade. So what I shared in this video spoke to you. Please put love hacks in the comments. If you put love hacks in the comments, I'll know that my message landed. Or if you're just straight tired of the way your life is going and you want to completely transform your experience in 90 days, go ahead and use the link in the bio or message me.